cost me a thing to talk to the law office of John Day. Not one penny.
The law office of John Day, they were great. They got us to a point to where we're satisfied and comfortable.
Turn left, they're there. You turn right, they're there. They was just there. And to me, they're the number one. They're the number one in the world.
Injured by a big truck? Trust the law offices of John Day.
They saved my life.
Now, Good Neighbor Events. Here's Bart Walker.
The Rutherford County Historical Society's Show and Tell Dinner is on Monday, March the 18th, and it's open to members only. That's Monday, March the 18th at the Carriage Lane Inn. Tickets are $30 per person. Again, the Rutherford County Historical Society's Show and Tell Dinner, Monday, March the 18th at Carriage Lane Inn. Once again, this Wednesday is the deadline for members to make reservations. And don't forget, the Red Cross Heroes Luncheon to honor John Floyd is Thursday, this Thursday, at MTSU's Student Union Ballroom. And the Knights of Columbus Fish Fry every Friday night this month from 4:30 until 7 in the evening at St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. That's at 1601 North Tennessee Boulevard here in Murfreesboro. And this Saturday is the Daddy-Daughter Dance at the Patterson Community Center. It starts at 5 o'clock this Saturday night. Get with the Patterson Community Center for more information. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
When illness or injury turns everyday moments into uphill battles, there are medical professionals who step in with skill, compassion, and unwavering dedication. My name is Joey P. I'm CEO of Murfreesboro Medical Clinic, and we are proud to highlight this month's MMC Heart for Healing recipient.
We recognize Dr. Sean Horwitz, a surgeon at MMC, whose reputation is built on as much his heart as it is his hands. Dr. Horwitz makes every patient feel like his priority. Whether performing complex robotic surgery or providing life-changing breast care, he combines elite technical precision with a rare, compassionate touch that truly defines him. Dr. Sean Horwitz, our MMC Heart for Healing.
If a doctor, nurse, or medical professional has made a difference in your life, tell WGNS. Help us recognize the medical heroes in our community by nominating them for the MMC Heart for Healing Award, and help us recognize the medical heroes in our community.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so that you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Lee Colvin, your Edward Jones financial advisor in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard, or give us a call at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home and Cremation Services.
What type of services they would think they would want?
Staff members are caring and experienced individuals who understand that each family is unique.
We ask them the questions. Is there going to be a burial, going to be a cremation?
Keith Stapleton, manager of the Murfreesboro Funeral Home.
In my experience over 40 years, I've seen the people that come in to pre-plan their funerals and put it down in writing makes it a whole lot easier on the children.
Murfreesboro Funeral Home, off of South Church Street.
It's All That's News with Matt Lane on News Radio WGNS.
The News Watch continues with an update from CBS News next.
Portions of our programming have been pre-recorded. The Good Neighbor Network, WGNS Murfreesboro, W270AF Murfreesboro, W263AI Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. U.S. Central Command says over 5,000 targets have been struck in Operation Epic Fury, and 50 Iranian vessels have been damaged or destroyed. President Trump is speaking to reporters right now, and CBS's Stacey Lynn says earlier,
while addressing the Republican Members' Issues Conference in Florida, the president touted progress in the war.
Iran's drone and missile capability is being utterly demolished. The Navy is gone.
He said terrorist leaders are gone as well.
Now nobody has any idea who the people are that are going to be the head of the country.
He said while at the dignified transfer of 6 fallen soldiers, their families told him,
"Make sure you win, sir. Make sure you win."
To which he replied,
"We've already won in many ways, but We haven't won enough.
Stacey Lane, CBS News, Washington.
Gas prices have soared across the country, and some drivers are experiencing sticker shock at the pump. WTOP's Luke Lukert.
It's gone up at least 40 cents since the last time I bought gas. Yes. That was like the other day.
A month ago, the average price here in Northern Virginia was about $2.95, according to AAA. Now, $3.40.
Everything's crazy. We can't just get up and say everything's the same, because it's not.
Still, drivers have to hit the road. Some are making long drives soon with spring break coming up.
Down south to Florida. Those definitely going to hurt the pockets.
Luke Lukert for CBS News, Virginia.
New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani, in the city's first Muslim mayor, denounces the igniting of improvised explosive devices during protests outside of the mayoral mansion on Saturday. The court complaint says 2 men who were arrested said they were inspired by ISIS. CBS News New York reporter Alice Gaynor.
It's gone up.
Alleged on Saturday, March 7th, the 2 attempted to detonate 2 explosive devices near Gracie Mansion during a counter-protest to an anti-Islam demonstration. According to the federal criminal complaint, it's alleged both made statements during their arrests about ISIS. When asked whether Balat was attempting something like the Boston Marathon bombing, he allegedly said, quote, "No, even bigger. It was only 3 deaths."
Emir Balat and Ibrahim Qayyumi are being held without bail. Justice Department attorneys say they've reached a settlement in their antitrust lawsuit against Ticketmaster and its parent company, California-based Live Nation Entertainment. But a trial may continue, with states leading the way. The case alleged there was an illegal monopoly over live events in America. The settlement was announced in Manhattan federal court this morning. The White House aide who revealed that Richard Nixon had secretly recorded his conversations as president has died. The Associated Press says Alexander Butterfield's wife says he was 99. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Good afternoon. Trying to move a little bit better from this earlier crash. Southbound Briley over here between Lebanon Pike and M Hill Pike. Again, it's had traffic a little bit slow, mostly rubbernecking delays. That's Briley southbound near M Hill Pike. It's building pretty good up through the Madison area. As a matter of fact, it's really slow here. 65 northbound at Rivergate Parkway. That's what we're checking out live. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Bring it to Amco Transmissions at 1212 Gallatin Pike. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on Type Traffic.
This is Pastor Nikki Ajapong, the lead pastor of Holy Hill Chapel in Murfreesboro.
Hear our sermons on WGNS every Sunday night at 7:30.
Our congregation is made up of a variety of nationalities.
Visit holyhillchapeltn.org to hear our podcast.
Rutherford weather.
Cloudy tonight with storms likely. Lows around 61. Daytime highs approaching 78. Tomorrow, chance for storms. I'm WGNS meteorologist Derek Height. Currently 73.
We do it your way at Sir Pizza.
Order a royal feast or create your own pizza online now at sirpizzatn.com. Carry out and delivery for dinner tonight at sirpizzatn.com.
We're the Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com.
From the first pitch to the final buzzer, this is where the conversation starts. All sports talk on WGNS and Big G TV, covering the Preps, MTSU, news from Tennessee and nationwide. Now, here's all sports talk on the Good Neighbor Network.
And And a good Monday afternoon to you. Welcome into All Sports Talk for this first day of the time change, I guess. Hope everybody made it through the time change without any problems, and we'll carry on from that point on. Dick Palmer hosting in for Monty Hale. We understand that Monty is doing well after his surgery, and we certainly wish him well and hope he's back here on the air before too long. My guest today is Kerry Hammonds, who is the boys basketball coach at Providence Christian Academy, and a big weekend for them this past weekend. Kerry, welcome in.
How you doing, Dick? Thank you for having me on. Always a pleasure.
Well, no, it's my pleasure, and we certainly followed your season with a lot of anticipation because you were coming off a state championship last year, and I think as most people who follow this game knows, this is something that's very hard to repeat.
Yes, I would agree. I can think it's kind of a testament to the guys in our locker room. They really believed, even with the rocky start to our season. It just felt like we just kept getting better and better each game. We were trending at the right time. We were playing our best basketball in the postseason. And guys just believed. They believed in each other. They believed in what we were trying to do. And so it was fun to see really how far this group came and grew throughout this whole year.
Well, we're going to get into all that, get into your season, get into the tournament a little bit later. I wanted our folks to find out a little bit more about you, because your name has been pretty synonymous with basketball around this area for a long time, and that of course due to your dad, Kerry Hammonds, who was an outstanding player for Coach Bruce Stewart and the Blue Raiders back in the 80s. Now, you weren't around for all of that, but I'm sure you've heard the stories.
Oh, for sure. I've heard tons of stories about my dad. I even got to watch him play a lot of pickup basketball as a youngster in Holloway High School, back when they used to have weekend pickup games. And so I'm definitely familiar with my dad as a player, and I've talked to plenty of those Blue Raider faithful that got to see him and those good teams play in the Glass House.
Yeah, it was my pleasure to broadcast every one of his basketball games for the Blue Raiders, and certainly have a lot of good memories of that. By the way, if you did you ever get on the court with him and play a little one-on-one?
Oh, of course. And I won the last time we played, Dick. So I got bragging rights.
You guys were about the same size, although he was a lot broader than you.
Yes, for sure. For sure. He's got a few inches on me, too. He was a little stronger, but I definitely shoot it better.
Well, I've got some stories about Kerry I may share a little bit later on, but it's kind of tough when your parents have kind of a famous name, as Kerry did around here, growing up, to be referred to as Kerry Hammond's son. And how do you handle that as a youngster growing up?
You know, my dad did a really good job of just kind of letting me write my own story. Now, obviously, people would talk about him and how good a player he was and watching him play, but he never really talked about himself. He was pretty humble in that way. He let me choose basketball. He didn't force it on me. When it came time to figure out what school I wanted to go to, he left it all on me. He didn't try to steer me towards MTSU, and so I'm really grateful that he kind of let me write my own story when it came to my basketball career.
You know, the first time I remember seeing you was on a baseball field out at the Optimist Fields. You were about 9 or 10 years old, and you were towering above most of your teammates out there. So you've always been probably a little taller than your age group.
Oh, for sure. And baseball is my first love. Like I loved baseball. It's really kind of crazy that my son Trey is going to be starting t-ball next week. It brings back some really cool memories for me being out there on the baseball field.
Well, it's that kind of that time of year when the blood gets flowing and you want to get out on that baseball field. I wish you a lot of luck as a baseball dad now.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the entertainment out there for sure.
It's not always a good place to be, but you just like you said with your dad, you just have to let them do their own thing.
Yep. I'm looking excited to be out there, be able to throw the ball, be able to play with him in the backyard, hitting off the tee. That's the fun part. So you went to Siegel High School, and
as a young basketball player at Siegel, what were the expectations they had of you coming in at Siegel? I think you played for Coach Harris and for Coach Dotson out there.
Yep. So my freshman year, I played for Chris Harris, and then the remainder of my career played for Coach Dotson, who was actually a manager for my dad's teams at MTSU. And it was actually funny when I first got there, I was calling Coach Dotson Ben, and he finally had to tell him, like, "Hey man, I'm Coach Dotson here. You can't call me Ben." But those guys, I mean, they kind of let me figure it out as well. I came in, I tried to work hard. We had a really good freshman class, and the four of us got some varsity minutes, and then after that, it was kind of our team. It was us four sophomores going forward. We had a really good senior point guard in Tyler Cutter, and that was kind of, I guess, one of the best teams after Darius and Keith Ramsey and Jimmy Oden. We kind of got back to the state championship or state tournament that year, and that's kind of when things started to trend upward for our basketball program.
Right. So there's, you're no stranger to state tournament competition and the pressure that goes along with us. As what was your reaction when you first got on the floor at the Murphy Center at the state basketball tournament, knowing that you're playing on the same floor where your dad had played years earlier?
Man, honestly, in that moment, I was just happy to be there. First time getting to go to state. I think we were playing actually Antioch High School, and they were undefeated going in, and everybody was talking about how we were going to get killed, and we actually ended up winning the game. And so it was a fun experience. My first game in the Murphy Center, playing well, getting an upset. So it was fun. It was a really cool experience.
While you were at Siegel, I think Coach Dotson took you guys on some rather exclusive trips out of town to play good competition.
Yes, and that's something that I've tried to take from Coach Dotson's book with my own program. I remember us going to the Arby's Classic. We traveled to go play Oak Hill and actually got snowed out. On our way up there, we had to turn around and come back home. We took a trip to Hawaii one year to play, and so I saw the experience that afforded a lot of my teammates and myself through the game of basketball, and so that's something that we try to do with our program. And this year we went to Massachusetts. Last year we went to Tampa. We always try to do something cool. A good experience for our guys, but also play really good competition because I really think that's what gets you prepared to go try to win a gold ball at the end of the year.
Yeah, and you can't really underestimate the value of playing top competition, whether you win or lose, because it's going to help those kids somewhere down the road.
Exactly. Yep.
So. After Siegel, were you a highly recruited
player for the collegiate ranks?
I was until I got hurt. Got hurt my senior year. Kind of got taught from all of the SEC besides Florida and Kentucky. And then I got hurt, and those guys kind of stopped calling. It really came down to really Belmont and MTSU. Those are the two schools. Rick Byrd and Kermit Davis were the guys that really stayed in communication with me, that they really wanted me. And so it came out of those two, and then ultimately chose to stay home and go to MTSU.
Well, we're glad you made that choice, and I know you had a stellar career under Coach Davis there at Middle Tennessee. Had some really good teams that you were a part of.
Oh, for sure. I mean, after my first year, I think we had 20 wins every year after that. Got to the NCAA tournament, won some games in the NIT. It was really fun. It was a really fun time in Blue Raider basketball. Played with a ton of really good players, really good guys. And so I'm really glad that I made the decision to go to MTSU. Got 3 conference championships out the deal, and so it was a great experience for me.
So coming in as a freshman out of high school and playing for Kermit Davis, who is kind of a vocal coach, were you in a little bit of a culture shock there for a while?
Actually, no. I had been coached by my dad for a little bit, and my dad doesn't mince too many words, so I was used to being coached hard. And when it comes from your dad, it kind of teeters on that line of being personal at times, and so I was able to be coached hard by Coach Davis and not take too much offense to it. I was able to kind of listen to what he was saying, not how he was saying it. And I think that's what made a lot of our teams good during that time is we had a group of guys that could take hard coaching and were able to kind of put that on the back burner, go out and perform and laugh about it afterwards.
Yeah, and I wonder, has that kind of carried over into your coaching experience? In other words, I know you inherit things from different coaches that you've played for, and you have your own way of doing things, but some of that has to kind of be passed along.
The biggest thing I've kind of taken from Coach Davis is attention to detail. Just on how we do everything, every detail, everything matters, and that's from the managers to players to my assistant coaches. Like we try to be really, really detailed in our planning, really detailed in our preparation, so that we can be as efficient as possible in everything that we're doing.
Yeah, and that's not only on the basketball court. That's in your meals, making your road trips, and attention to time, because I know Coach Davis was a stickler for people being on time.
Yep, and I definitely took that from Coach Davis. My guys think I'm crazy a lot of times, but they figured out that when I say a time, that's what I mean, and it's really been good for our culture. Guys know the standard, and they know that they're going to be called to that standard daily, and so it allows us as coaches to hold them accountable. Especially when we build the relationships and they know that we care about them. And all this stuff is going to help them later in life. Basketball is just kind of the vehicle that we get to use to teach them life lessons.
Yeah, and that's something that sometimes our fans, sometimes our sports guys like us, forget about that part of it. But certainly that's the lasting part of it.
Exactly. The fun part for me in coaching is when my former players come back and come see me, or we go grab lunch. I just got invited to my first wedding from a former player, and to see how those guys are doing after they've been out of your program for a little bit is really the blessing of coaching.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to get into that state tournament experience a little bit deeper. So just hang with us now. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back. All Sports Talk will continue after this.
Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home has served Murfreesboro families with compassion and care since 1880. As a family-owned funeral home, we're committed to honoring every life with dignity through traditional services, cremation options, and pre-planning that gives you peace of mind. For over 140 years, we've been here when it matters most. Visit JenningsandAyers.com. Jennings & Ayers Funeral Home, honoring life and comforting families since 1880.
Every team knows which play can be a winning move. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack, here to help life go right by combining your home and auto insurance. Call me today at 615-890-0850. It's a winning move that saves you time and money. Your ride, your stuff. You live with them together. I'm State Farm Agent Andy Womack. It's smart to protect them together to help life go right. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me help you save by combining your auto and renters.
Hi, I'm Wade Hayes, owner of Toots Good Food and Fun. I strongly believe that volunteers make a positive difference in the quality of life here in our community.
State Farm Agent Michael Busey serves as Vice Chair for Main Street Murfreesboro's Advisory Board. He is essentially the board's steady second in command, the person who keeps things moving when the chair can't be there, and helps to share the leadership load. Michael Busey, a dedicated volunteer with Main Street Murfreesboro, whom people can count on.
At Toots, we strongly believe that it's important for every one of our citizens to give some of their time and talent back into the community. And we want to honor these individuals with a Toots gift certificate good at any of our Rutherford County locations. 860 Northwest Broad Street, on Church Street in the Barfield area, in Smyrna on Sam Ridley, and Toots West on Franklin Road at Rucker Lane.
Lace up your best kicks for a night of impact benefiting First Shot. Join us for the annual Sneaker Ball, presented by Venture Express. Spend Sunday, April 26th with NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl MVP Marcus Allen. The event kicks off at 6 with a VIP meet and greet at 5. Reserve your table today. Call Coach Andy Herzer at 615-631-5312. We'll see you at the Sneaker Ball, benefiting First Shot on April 26th.
Roscoe Brown is this area's leading provider of home indoor air quality products and services. Back in 1940, Roscoe Brown started this family business with a goal of treating customers like family. Over 80 years later, that commitment continues. If you're new to town, ask Roscoe Brown to do a checkup on your HVAC and plumbing systems. It'll make a difference. Call Roscoe Brown and schedule a checkup today.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. Good afternoon. Finally moving a little bit better over here southbound Briley between Lebanon Pike and M Hill Pike on that earlier crash. It's heavy and slow, and it's been that way for the last maybe hour or so. 65 north, just trying to get past Rivergate Parkway. Steady flowing. Traffic continues out towards the Mount Juliet area, just heavy in general on 40 East here, passing the airport, pushing on out through Hermitage. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Bring it to Amco Transmissions at 1212 Gallatin Pike in Madison. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSradio.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back into All Sports Talk for this Monday afternoon. Dick Palmer with the head coach of the Providence Christian Academy Lions, Kerry Hammonds. And Kerry, when we broke for the commercial, we were kind of talking about your career at MTSU. And did you have any opportunities to play basketball after that? Play for pay?
I did. It kind of came to a halt. So my senior year at MTSU, I had some foot ankle problems, and after that year, went to the doctor, see what was kind of going on, and I had some bone fragments and some different things in my ankle, and he said that I could have surgery, but it wasn't a guarantee it was going to make it better, and it was going to be a 8 to 12 month kind of recovery. And so I decided to get into coaching a little earlier than expected. And so I went and sat down with Coach Davis and told him I wanted to go ahead and start pursuing to be a coach and would like to be a GA. And I'm lucky enough that he said yes, and I was able to do that, get my master's, and start coaching under his wing.
Well, and that just extended your resume as far as your coaching career is concerned. And how difficult was it? Because I know that some of the guys you played with were still on that team. How difficult was it to kind of separate yourself from them as coach-player?
It actually wasn't that difficult. I think I was a leader when I was playing, and so those guys kind of respected me anyway. I worked hard. I was going to be in the gym with those guys, rebounding for them, passing to them, and so they kind of heard what I was saying. They saw the work ethic that I put in as a player, and so I just tried to come in there and learn as much as I could. No job be too small. Do whatever I could to help the program, and the players saw that, and so I think I had that respect pretty early.
Yeah, and you had the fortunate experience of being along with some of Kermit's very best teams, NCAA teams, went up to the tournament, knocked off number 2 Michigan State. I guess that was a big thrill.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unreal. I mean, me and some of the guys, we talk about that to this day, just what a special experience and day that was to go to St. Louis and beat Michigan State, who was one of the favorites to win the whole thing. And it still doesn't seem real, even when the 10-year anniversary came up. And it was just a fun experience, a really good day for Blue Raider basketball.
Well, after your experience at MTSU, you went back to your alma mater, didn't you, to coach a little bit?
Yep. So I went to Siegel for 1 year. I was an assistant there with Coach Birdwell, who's at Lincoln County now. Went back to my alma mater, coached for a year, and then went back to Middle as the director of operations.
So you were under Kermit, and also did you coach were you under Coach McDevitt?
Yes, so I was under Kermit for a year and then Nick for a year before I took the job at PCA.
Yeah, well, that year with Coach McDevitt, his first year was a rough one because his squad was just depleted from the year before, and he just literally had to go out there and get players wherever he could find them.
Yeah, it was tough for Nick coming in that situation, and those guys not doing what they needed to do on their end, and so he gets in, have to let guys go and go find guys to kind of plug holes. And so it was a difficult start for his tenure for sure.
But he weathered that storm and has produced some really good teams and has another good team going into the tournament this week in Huntsville. Well, let's talk about Providence Christian because that's really the reason that I had you on. And how did you come about to get the head coaching job there?
Really crazy story. I was actually on the golf course with Drew Shea, another former Blue Raider employee, and Greg Grinsing, who was an assistant during my time there, gave me a call. His son, Trice, was a PCA student. He called me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in a PCA job?" And I knew they had just hired a coach, and I was like, "What happened?" And it was like, "It's open." So he shared that I was interested with Coach James, Tara James, and I met with her the following Monday. We had like a 2 or 3 hour conversation at a coffee shop, and I visited campus the next day, and she offered me the job 2 days later.
Well, I tried to get in touch with her today. Are y'all on spring break this week?
We're on spring break, and Coach James is taking a much-deserved vacation, and I will be in a couple of days myself.
Well, because her team claimed a state championship over the weekend also, so it was a great weekend for the Lions and the Lady Lions at Providence Christian. Tell me about your first year at Providence as a head coach.
It was long. We actually won our first game, Dick, and we won our first game, and then we lost about 23, 24 straight. And so it was tough, but I had a really fun group. A group that came in every day, had a smile on their face. They wanted to be coached. They wanted to get better. And so even though we weren't winning games, we found small wins to celebrate throughout the year. And the group that kind of I started with were all sophomores, and so to see them grow up over the next 3 years and do things that hadn't been done in PCA basketball history was really fun for me.
Now, as a coach, you grew up playing for championship-type teams at Siegel High School, at MTSU, and how difficult was that first year for you to absorb those losses? And I guess mentally it was probably a challenge.
It was really tough, Dick. It was really tough just because I don't like losing. And so to lose it and at that clip was really frustrating, but I think it made me a better coach because you just can't beat the kids down, beat your team down on a 20-game losing streak, or you'll lose them. And so we had to find ways to motivate them, had to find ways to continue to get better, and to keep loving on them. At the end of the day, like we talked about, is not just about the wins and losses, it's about what the game of basketball is able to teach all the young men that come through our program, and to see where we started and to see where we are now, it just makes it that much sweeter.
Did you ever have any second thoughts after that first year about your decision to be a head coach?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think that's human nature. Just doubt creeping in, especially when you're not as successful as you expect it to be. But I mean, that's when you pray. A lot of prayer. You reach out to the ones that you trust, your mentors, and you keep working. You keep grinding. You keep showing up every day. And as things start to turn the corner, you start to get confidence, and you feel like you're where you're supposed to be with who you're supposed to be with.
Well, I know that early on, Providence was not a member school of TSSAA. Now, were they TSSAA when you started coaching there?
When I took over, they were. I think they may have been in there for maybe their second or third year. The year before I started, they were on an all JV schedule, though.
Right.
And so it was a total culture shock when we start playing really good teams, varsity teams. But that's what we had to do to kind of start the trajectory of the culture to where we wanted it to be. So, yeah, I think we've been TSSAA maybe 10 years now.
Yeah. So you were part of laying the foundation for this program that has won back-to-back state championships, and that is something that, if it were me, would make me very proud.
I am very, very proud about the state championships. I'm even more proud of our culture, our program, how we represent ourselves, our families, and the school. Even if we wouldn't have won the last one or this one, I'd be really, really proud about the things that we've been able to do, the young men that have walked through our program and left better than the day they came in.
When did you realize that things are going to be better? After that first year, did you have many of the same players coming back, or did you get some new kids in, or when did it really start to turn?
We gradually got better every year. And so that first year we won one game. I think the next year we won 3 with kind of the same core guys. And then the third year, I think we won 14, and we made it to the region that year. And so it was a gradual process of just continue to work, continue to see what we need to do as a program to keep getting our players better, keep getting to the next level. And players bought in. Our core leaders were really good at pouring into the guys under them so that the culture stayed intact. And it's kind of been doing the same things, just trying to get a little bit better every year, do things better to make our kids and our programs stand out as one of the best programs in Tennessee.
Yeah, and as a Division II school, you don't have the number of schools, private schools, available to play that public schools have. So how do you go about putting together a schedule? Because I know you have to play a certain number of district and region games, but then you have a lot of other dates you have to fill.
We'll play anybody, anywhere, Dick. Honestly, I think that's one of the things that's got us to where we are, is just not being afraid to take some losses. Because that's going to prepare us down the road. We've been in tons of battles over the last few years with really, really good teams. We've won some, we've lost some, but I think they've prepared our players for big moments. And so we just try to play the best that we can. I think we opened up the season this year. We played Kirkwood, who's in the state for public school this year. We played Bartlett that same week. We played Baylor, and all three of these teams are state caliber teams. And so that's what we want to do. That's what we want to play because we know it's going to make us better down the line.
Yeah, so when you step up a bit and you play either Division I schools or big public schools and are able to stay with them and win some of those games, then it just builds confidence in your kids, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. If you're able to play well against really good teams, schools that have been established, good coaches, good players, that just breeds confidence in our guys that when the moment calls for it, that they can step up and meet that moment.
Okay, we're getting close to break time, and after we come back from our next break, we're going to get into that state tournament scenario up in Clarksville over the weekend and let you go through that. But being someone who has been with this program from the very ground floor, you have a perspective that not a lot of people would have. Say somebody came in and were used to winning games and everything, but you've kind of built that culture there.
Oh yes, and like I said, that's what makes these last few years that much sweeter, is just seeing where our program came from. And it's just a testament to all the young men that have been a part of it, all the coaches, all the players families just played a role in our program and getting it here. PCA, the support of our administration, Tara, athletic director, we don't get to where we are without all of those people and all the time and investment that they put in it. And so it really is special for me and my staff to kind of look back 6 years ago on that team and kind of how we operated to see the fruits of our labor.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to get into that tournament and the big win up in Clarksville. I'm talking with Kerry Hammonds, head coach of the Providence Christian Academy Lions, and we'll be back after this. All Sports Talk will continue.
Whether you need general vehicle upkeep and maintenance or a complete vehicle overhaul, Hall's Auto Care is here for you. We're locally owned and operated by Greg Hall and have been in business since 2014. You'll get excellent service and trustworthy advice with Hall's Auto Care. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We're ready to help get you safely on the road. Hall's Auto Care, 907 Ridgely Road, just off Broad Street behind Chili's. Online at hallsautocare.net. Hall's Auto Care.
This is Chip Walters, and I'm honored to be your 2024 MTAR Realtor of the Year. I'm with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates, and like many of you, I've seen the real estate market shift and change. People often ask, Chip, what's really going on? Well, that's a great question, and I believe in answering with solid, factual data. So let's cut through some of the noise. I invite you to reach out. Let's have a conversation about your real estate goals and the current market trends in your neighborhood. You can find all my contact information at choosechip.net.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Auctions are easy, fast, and profitable.
I've always been a big fan of auctions. Get instant sale, no contingencies.
That means the sale of your property won't depend on an inspection, financing, or appraisals.
I've known the guys over there my entire life.
Call Parks Auction and Realty or visit parksauction.com.
Clark's Auction Company will get you top dollar for your property.
Parks Auction Company, committed to auction excellence.
Hold it to you, 27 and a half.
The residents at Stones River Manor love the environment.
I just really like it. Of course, I'm in an apartment and I can come and go and do kind of what I want to.
Stones River Manor, serving the community since 1977.
My husband felt much better when he passed away that I was taken care of here. We got married in 58 and in 60 he went in Air Force.
Stones River Manor in Murfreesboro, near the intersection of Haynes Drive and Memorial Boulevard.
Next on All Sports Talk, it's the Blue Raider Insider Report with Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And the regular season is in the books for Blue Raider and Lady Raider basketball. Both finished the year on an uptick. Lady Raiders won their final home game, knocking off Missouri State, while the Blue Raiders go into the Conference USA tournament as the hottest team in the league, having won 5 straight, including 2 in a row away from Murphy Center. But today is the day for the postseason awards. And let's start with the ladies. 3 Middle Tennessee women's basketball players earned postseason recognition as Conference USA announced its annual awards earlier today, highlighted by freshman Blair Bogus being named Freshman of the Year. Bogus also earned First-Team All-Conference USA and All-Freshman Team honors, while senior Elena Contreras was named Second-Team All-Conference USA, and freshman Macy Pfeiffer earned All-Conference USA Honorable Mention and All-Freshman Team honors. Well, in addition to the end-of-the-season awards, it was the final week of the regular season, and the Lady Raiders swept the final pair of Conference USA's weekly honors. Elena Contreras was named the Conference USA Player of the Week. Blair Bogus selected as the Conference USA Freshman of the Week. For Bogus, it is the 8th Freshman of the Week award this year for her, and the program's Conference USA record-setting 12th Freshman of the Week honor this season, while Contreras earned her second Player of the Week award of her career. Turning to the men's side, Blue Raiders coming off wins at FIU and Missouri State, and on the heels of that dominant finish in the regular season, Tori Alston and Kamari Lance have been named to all-conference teams. That was announced earlier today by the league office. Alston received his second postseason award with his selection to the All-Conference USA third team, and the All-Conference USA Honorable Mention nod is the first postseason honor for Kamari Lance. So congratulations to all the Lady Raiders and Blue Raiders for their postseason honors. Now let's go to Huntsville and win some games. On Thursday, the Lady Raiders will take on Missouri State, the team they just played Saturday and knocked off to finish the regular season. They'll play at 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon at the Von Braun Civic Center. Then at 5:30, the Blue Raider men will take on Louisiana Tech for the 3rd straight year to open Conference USA tournament play. That will be at 5:30. Of course, both games will be on the Blue Raider Network and right here on WGNS. The MTSU National Alumni Association has put together a Blue Raider fan event that will be held at 12:30 on Thursday prior to that doubleheader. It will be at the Jack Daniels Lounge on the concourse level of the Von Braun Civic Center. Tickets are $12 per person. Children 10 and under are free. The ticket includes heavy hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. That will be at 12:30 on Thursday at the Von Braun Civic Center. The women's game will tip off then at 2 p.m. Blue Raiders softball swept Kennesaw State over the weekend, getting the capper on the series with a 15-4 win over the Owls. The Blue Raider baseball team was on the road this past week down at UAB for their first road trip of the year, and it was not a pleasant experience. Middle dropped all 3 games in the series to the Blazers. Middle back home tomorrow for a non-conference game against Eastern Kentucky before traveling to Kennesaw this weekend for Conference USA's opener for Blue Raider baseball. That's it for today. We'll be talking to you again tomorrow with more info about the upcoming Conference USA tournament right here on the Big G, WGNS.
It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network, FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSradio.com, and Big G TV.
And welcome back in for our final segment on All Sports Talk today, talking with Kerry Hammonds, the head basketball coach at Providence Christian Academy. Well, Kerry, we just heard the update on the Blue Raiders going into the conference tournament. I guess you've got memories of conference tournaments played there when you were a player and also an assistant coach.
Oh yeah, I mean, fun time of the year to be headed to the conference tournament and try to punch your ticket to the NCAA tournament. It's tough. I mean, as we've seen over the last weekend, a lot of times top 1-2 seeds are picked off and dreams are crushed. And so wishing the Blue Raiders, both men and women, the best of luck this week.
Sitting there as a player the year before you went to the year you went to the NCAA tournament, watching the selection committee. And I know everybody's on pins and needles because you don't know who you're going to play. And when Michigan State's name came up, what was the reaction there?
Kind of laughter, just because we knew that they were a favorite to win it all. And I mean, you're just happy to hear your name called on that Sunday. And we go into the staff meeting, and one of our assistants, Ronnie Hamilton, is his scout, and he comes in and says, "Coach, I think we can win." And that just kind of showed the belief that our team had, and the guys had that same level of belief in our preparation in the few days leading up to it.
Well, it certainly paid off, and I'm sure you had that sort of attitude going into Cookeville last year. I don't know if you were considered a favorite or not, but you went up there and won a state championship. And talk a little bit about that experience last year.
It was fun. Our group, we had a lot of returners back from a team that lost in the championship game the year before, and so our entire year we practiced, we prepared for that. And so going into it, us and the coaching staff, we knew that it was ours to go get, and we operated that way. We came in with the chip on our shoulder and took care of business, and it was fun to see that team accomplish that goal when they were so close the year before, and to have a different locker room experience after that game last year in Cookeville.
Yeah, and you added a key piece in the interim between those two tournaments because a young man named Chris Washington moved to Murfreesboro and transferred to your school and was a key player for you. I think we may have lost connection. So, Jackson, if you're within hearing distance, we may need to take a small break. We're talking with Kerry Hammonds, head coach at Providence Christian Academy, and I think we've just dropped our connection. We're doing this on the phone, and hopefully we can get this situation squared away in just a moment. There we go. Can we take just a small break and try to reconnect?
You're listening to the flagship station for Blue Raiders sports.
On 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Middle Tennessee.
Play up, bench, hold.
Middle Tennessee football, basketball, and baseball. Yeah, we got them.
You're listening to the flagship station for Blue Raider Athletics. I'm Chip Walters. Hear the games here on News Radio WGNS.
Middle Tennessee win.
Raiders win the championship.
Your source for the Big Blue and the Borough. News Radio WGNS.
Hi, this is Norman and Beth Brown.
I was at a restaurant one morning and the waitress says, "There's 3 little kittens trapped under an air conditioning unit." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, we're in the business. Let me call my husband."
And I received the call. I immediately dispatched the tech and we rescued the kittens.
3 little kittens, so sweet. Meow.
Yep. Everyone goes beyond the call of duty at Roscoe Brown with heating and air, water purification, insulation, and more.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. It's all sports talk from the Good Neighbor Network. FM 1019, 100.5, AM 1450, WGNSradio.com, and Big G TV.
All right, we're back. Kerry Hammonds is our guest head coach at Providence Christian. We got cut off, Coach, but we were just talking about that state championship last year in Cookeville, and I was mentioning that you did have a new addition to your squad coming into last year, and that was Chris Washington, who moved here from Florida.
Oh, yeah. Chris came in, and he wasn't cocky. He wasn't trying to impress anybody. He came in and fit right into the culture of what we were trying to do. We had a special group that worked hard, and he came in and fell right in line and was a huge piece. But, I mean, him, Peyton Applegate, and Nick Anderson, all 3 of those guys coming in were just huge for our team. Added leadership, added, obviously, talent, size, length, and we're definitely a better team because of them.
Yeah, and you lost the bulk of your starters, I think, from that team. So you had really, it was kind of a starting all over process this year with Chris coming back and then trying to build a team around him.
Yep. So Chris was our only returning starter. Peyton Applegate, Nick Anderson, both of those guys were role guys coming off the bench last year, same as our 2 sophomore guards, Mikey Holloway and TJ Duke. And so they had to step into new roles. And like we talked about earlier, starting 0-3, everybody's trying to figure out where they are on the team and what we need from everybody. And a testament to those guys taking coaching, buying into being unselfish and playing as a team. We just kept getting better. Guys figured out their roles, and they bought into them, and they were stars in their role. And so that's how you go from 0-3 to playing in the state championship game.
Yeah, I think you said that you lost more games the first 3 games of the season than you lost all last year.
Yes, and I mean that's not a good feeling. Like you expect we came in expecting our team to be really good, and we got punched in the mouth early. But I honestly believe that might have been the best thing that happened to us.
All right, tell me about your schedule going in, because you play a challenging schedule, but BGA in your district, and you've played them tons of times.
We've played them 10 times in the last 2 years. Trey Meyer, their head coach, he does a great job over there. They have really good players, and we know it's going to be a battle every time we play those guys. I said it after our championship game on Saturday. I don't think we're the team we are at the end of the season if we hadn't had to face those guys as many times as we have.
In that championship game, Chris Washington, your go-to guy, picks up his 4th foul in the 3rd quarter. And now it's a question, do I try to finish the game with him playing with 4 fouls, take a chance on him fouling out, or do I sit him out for a while? And these are decisions that coaches get paid to make.
And we didn't. I don't think we hesitated for a second when he picked that fourth foul up. An offensive foul, illegal screen. When he picked that up, we took him out. We trust our guys. We think we put in Keenan Wilson, who's played in a ton of games, and we trust him. I think we had to put Abe Susi in there in the fourth quarter as well. And those guys have played minutes. They played meaningful minutes throughout the year. And so we trust those guys to come in and be stars in their role. And they came in. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. I thought we weathered the storm pretty well while Chris was out. I thought Nick picked up the scoring while Chris was on the bench. I thought we got enough stops. And then we were able to put Chris in back when we thought that we needed to.
Yeah, I think when he came out, you were up by 10 or 11, and when he went back in, you were still up by 10 or 11. So the guys you put in there and the rest of the bunch actually pulled together and did a great job for you.
And I think it's just it speaks to our schedule. Again, just talking about how tough it was and the teams that we played. We've battled foul trouble before. We've battled injuries. We've battled a ton of those things leading up to that moment. And so when a guy's number is called, they're ready. And the guys on the floor and the coaches on the bench trust them to go in and do their job.
Okay, now the next question is, well, Coach, what are you going to do for us next year? So,
hey, Monty, I'm sorry, Dick. I'm just going to really celebrate this one. I'm happy about it. I'm going to take a couple weeks off because it's spring break. I'm not going to think about any hoops, or not any PCA hoops. I'm going to watch a lot of hoops.
I think that's a good philosophy to have. And do you have a middle school program there? A good feeder system?
We do. We do. Our middle school team actually got beat in the championship this year. Greg Grinson is actually our head coach. He does a phenomenal job, him and his staff. And so we got some 8th graders coming up who've already started practicing with us to get used to the speed and the terminology and how we do things. And so I'm looking forward to those guys joining the program when we start spring ball.
Okay, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and we might have to do this again sometime, but I hope you have a good spring break. Take it easy.